Why is the log without anything? Just the base 10. Yeah, if you just see log with nothing else on it, you assume it to be 10. If you see log with a different base, now that's not a common log. So if you had something like this, now it's not a common log, it's something different. But if you had something like this, that's assumed to be a 10 as the subscript. Always. Okay. All right, so the last thing then, and we can use these two examples to start to illustrate it, the last thing is to evaluate logs. Okay, so if you had to evaluate this log right here in the form that it's written, the way that you would evaluate this is you just set it equal to some unknown, and then apply the same rules. You'd rewrite it in exponential form. So you get 8 to the power of x is equal to 64. And now you'd solve it just like what we did in the last section. Solving an exponential equation, you want both sides to have the same base. So 64 in the base 8 is 8 squared. And then you equate the powers. So x is equal to 2. And you do the same thing here. Set this equal to a variable. Rewrite it in exponential form. 10 to the y is equal to 100. And then solve. Base is the same. Equate the powers. And you get your solution. Okay, so evaluating winds up being, again, just converting it into the exponential form and then using the methods that we talked about in section 7.2 to solve that particular equation. All right, so looking at this first one, if you just assign it a variable, rewrite it in exponential form. All right, so if we assign this variable to equal our expression, and then we rewrite it in exponential form, so here we get base of 3 to the power of x is equal to 1 over 81. And then you go through and you follow all the steps for solving that exponential equation. Okay, so if you remember, again, rewrite both bases the same. 81 can be expressed as a base 3 to what power? Negative 4, equate the powers. So we get x is equal to negative 4. And so x is this whole value. So our answer is negative 4 for that. Okay, for the second one, same idea. Assign a value to our equation. Rewrite it in exponential form. So 4 to what power? Y is equal to 1. So what does y have to be? Y is equal to 0. Now again, if you wanted to express 1 in terms of the same base, base 4 to what power would give you 1? 0. Equate the powers and you get your solution. Okay. Finally, the last example here. Assign a variable. I'll call it z just to keep them each different here in this page. Since there's no base written here, I can write in my common base of 10. So I have 10 to the power of z is equal to 1,000. And again, if 1,000 is 10 cubed, equate the powers. I get my solution for z to be 3.